ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रानुसन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारमवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study with Brahman. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning, as you know, that last Sunday we have observed the 190th birth anniversary of Sri Ramakrishna. So this morning I am going to speak on Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna's glory. You know, according to Indian mythology, there are 4 ages. The whole cycle is divided into 4 ages. They are called the Golden Age, Silver Age, the Platinum Age, and the Iron Age. It is said that now the Iron Age is going on, and then again the Golden Age will come as a cycle. But Swami Vivekananda, the 19th century prophet, humanitarian, philosopher, monk, he said that the day when Sri Ramakrishna was born, from that day the Golden Age has been started, has began. In a letter, and he gave the proof of it. In a letter to Haridas Biharidas Desai, Haridas Biharidas Desai was Dewan, a small king kind of thing, Dewan of Junagadh. He was a brilliant person and very efficient in managing his own places. So he wrote in a letter. We know, by the by, that Swamiji was out and out Advaitin. Swamiji was not the follower of image worship. Swamiji was not that much follower of bhakti. The general consensus is this: Swamiji was Advaitin. He did not accept the form, personal God, etc. He accepted impersonal, absolute truth, which is called Brahman, on the basis of Advaita philosophy of India. But whenever the question of spirituality came, I personally observed, because Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, they cannot be limited by our understanding or individual understanding. They are so vast. I am talking about all the incarnations. When I am talking about Sri Ramakrishna or Swami Vivekananda, please include in that list Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, everyone. So they are the incarnations. They are not limited by our limited understanding. So it is completely wrong idea that to limit them on the basis of my understanding. However, from my studies, I have seen that whenever the question of spirituality came, Swami Vivekananda shifted a little bit from impersonal to personal. Probably the impersonal Advaita practice is not be prescribed for everyone. For the beginners, it is very difficult to practice Advaita philosophy. It is very difficult to practice spiritually the impersonal God, the formless God, or only the principle. It is a little bit difficult. For the beginners, better to start with a form and then proceed to the formless. Probably that is what Swami Vivekananda emphasized in many places. The first example is inspired talks. We know when Swami Vivekananda was visiting this country and he delivered his historical lectures in the Parliament of Religions in 1893, he was in Thousand Island Park, the upstate of St. Lawrence River. In Thousand Island Park, he stayed for 49 days. And by turn, there were 12 disciples. They also stayed with Swami Vivekananda there. And Swami Vivekananda actually said that I shall make few yogis out of these raw materials. So Swami Vivekananda was one of the forerunners who brought the science of yoga in this country. So in Inspired Talks, the Inspired Talks is a diary. One of the disciples noted, Swamiji gave classes, so that was a kind of diary. If we go through that Inspired Talks, and here also we find that when the question of spirituality came, Swami Vivekananda shifted a little bit to incarnation. He did not emphasize personal God, he emphasized incarnation. So he wrote in a letter to Haridas Biharidas Desai, the Dewan of Junagadh, I quote, "Every new religious wave requires a new center." Please try to hear, I am going very slowly. Every new religious wave requires a new center. Hang your dogmas or doctrines. They never pay. It is a character, a life, a center, a God-man that must lead the way. That must be the center around which all other elements will gather themselves and then fall like a tidal wave upon the society, carrying all before it, washing away all impurities. Now, do you think you have already seen the nucleus of such a great movement? That you have heard the low rumblings of the coming tidal wave? That center, that God-man to lead was born in India. He was the great Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and round him this band is slowly gathering. See, clearly he said, hang your dogmas or doctrines. Personality, a God-man, a pure personality must be the center of a new religious wave, surrounding whom the whole new things is gathered. That is what he said. In Inspired Talks also, we find that he emphasized the power of incarnation. And he explained here that how this incarnation creates a tidal wave of new generation for new generation, and new ideas and new spiritual principles for the modern age. Swami Vivekananda spoke of Sri Ramakrishna as the ideal of India and the modern world. And by the word ideal, he meant both subjective and objective. Subjective, obviously, the intrinsic nature of a person. And the objective means the person as a whole. So let me, with few words, describe what is intrinsic nature. The opposite of intrinsic nature is the distinctive qualities, distinctive nature. As for example, if I point out a person, yes, he is wearing a blue shirt, I am identifying that. This blue shirt person, I don't know his name, but I am calling him a blue shirt person. So this blue shirt is a quality, is a nature. This is his distinctive nature, because right now he is wearing the blue shirt. After 1 hour, he will be in a red shirt. So completely changed. So this kind of quality is called distinctive nature of a person, or distinctive nature of a thing, which can change easily. And intrinsic nature is the being nature. How am I? Say the complexion. The complexion generally is not rapidly changed. So the complexion, it is the intrinsic nature of a person, because it is the being which cannot be changed very easily. So the subjective quality is the intrinsic nature of a person. So that is what it is said, the ideal. Swami Vivekananda meant both subjective and objective. Objective is the distinctive nature, the person, the external thing. In the prevailing world situation dominated by the consumerism, commercialism, pleasure seeking, and social, religious, and political conflicts and problems, the true significance of Swami Vivekananda's statement is difficult to understand. But if we try to understand patiently, probably we can understand this and be enlightened. However, from the discussion on the characteristics of the golden age given above, we can see that Swamiji's statement is mostly likely to become a reality in the golden age. In the light of the description, Sri Ramakrishna's life is a prefiguration of the type of life that large number of people are likely to lead in the golden age. Society depends upon men, people. If people changes, society changes. So the golden age, if we consider the golden age is the ideal society, then in ideal society, each individual must be ideal person. So what is the concept of an ideal personality? That is what we find in Sri Ramakrishna. And that is why he must become the center of the new wave, center of the new religious movement. If you consider closely, you can find it is not only Sri Ramakrishna. You can find the characteristics of all incarnations of this world, these similar characteristics. You can find the similar characteristics of all religious incarnations of this world. Take the example. But the point is, it changes from age to age. When Jesus incarnated, at that time, the teachings of Jesus was very much needed. It doesn't mean that teachings of Jesus or Buddha is not required in this age. Extremely needed. Extremely needed, but from different age to age, in Indian belief, the incarnation incarnates from age to age. When there is any degradation of the righteousness, when any degradation of the society, a good personality, an incarnation incarnates and just push, just tilt the psyche of the people of that particular age. I am not going to that point. So what is the significance of the incarnation? So the first point is the purity, excellent purity. We can find it in Buddha, we can find it in Jesus. So Swami Vivekananda saw in Sri Ramakrishna the image of perfect personality. He once told a disciple, "But take it from me, never did come to this earth such an all-perfect man as Sri Ramakrishna. Only a perfect personality can serve as the ideal for the new age, not an ordinary person." One of the signs of perfection that Swamiji saw in Sri Ramakrishna was his absolute immaculate purity. Just compare with Jesus, the immaculate child. Just compare with Buddha, immaculate child. They are not biological product of the human being. So this immaculate purity, the birth of Jesus, definitely, if we transform it into our spiritual development, we should say the birth of Jesus. Now the Easter is coming, the birth of Jesus and the redemption is everything in our heart. So immaculate Jesus, every day, every moment of time, the birth of immaculate child is within our heart. We must feel it. So that is the immaculate purity. A pure child takes birth in our heart. So this is the immaculate purity, its purest lives ever lived. Another sign was the all-round total development of personality. About this, Swami Vivekananda said, such a unique personality, such a synthesis of utmost Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Karma Yoga has never before appeared among mankind. So it is the integral yoga. So we have the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all the yogas are different. But in one personality, we find that all the yogas integrated in one personality. The life of Sri Ramakrishna proves the greatest breadth, the highest Catholicity, and the utmost intensity can exist side by side in the same individual. In one other place, Swami Vivekananda said, the depth of an ocean and the vastness, if anything is vast, it cannot go deeper. If the breadth is huge, if the area of something is huge, it cannot go very deep. So he said in one place that intellect of Shankaracharya and the heart of Buddha that combined in one person. So this is that highest Catholicity and the utmost intensity can exist side by side in the same individual. And the society also can be constructed like that. For society is nothing but the aggregate of individuals. This is the second quality. Immaculate purity, the integral yoga. The third is the transcendental realization. Realization must be transcendental. What we can see here, what we can realize in this mundane world is all our objective knowledge. Objective knowledge, why? Question may be raised. Why spiritual experience is transcendental? Why is that? It is because all our experiences in the mundane world is based on our intellect, our knowledge, our understanding. Can we claim that our understanding, our knowledge is infinite? It is encompassing everything in this cosmos? We cannot claim that. So it is limited. Our knowledge, human knowledge. See, Newton said that I am only collecting some pebbles from the shore of an infinite knowledge. So, exactly in the same way, our understanding is limited. But God, or the absolute Brahman, is not limited. So that's why, through our senses, through our limited intellect, through our limited knowledge, we cannot conceptualize God. So it is transcendental, means it is beyond our intellect, it is beyond our senses, it is beyond everything. Is it possible to have this knowledge, transcendental knowledge? Yes, it is possible. We can transcend ourselves. How can we transcend ourselves? Through spiritual process. Any example? Yes, there are examples. we can see in our life different levels, different state. Now I am waking state. After some time I will dream another state. And then there will be the deep sleep state. If an individual can experience different state of existence, then the transcendental experience, why not? That is the fourth kind of state of human being. So Sri Ramakrishna's vast range of transcendental realizations that he had, he was the combination of different prophets. He was several prophets rolled into one. He embodied the spiritual consciousness of all the previous prophets. We have seen that. We have seen during his sadhana period, during the period of his spiritual practice, we saw he practiced all the yogas. In Bhakti Path, he realized God. In Karma Yoga, he did. In Jnana, he did, under the guidance of Totapuri. And obviously, in meditation also, in Raja Yoga. In different religious paths, he practiced. He had the curiosity that is it possible if I follow a certain religious path, is it possible to realize God following this particular path? And he followed. And he experienced. It's a new thing, you know. Any incarnation, they practiced a particular path. But he practiced all the paths. Amazing. So that is the important things. The trait alone is enough to make him the ideal for the golden age. Because we have seen prophethood of the common man would be a characteristics of feature of the golden age. Swami Vivekananda emphasized this point, and he equated science with religion at this point. This is one of the points he emphasized. In science, what happens? The scientific principle, when it is discovered, can be practiced by everyone. Take the example of the law of gravitation. Law of gravitation is true here. It is true anywhere in this universe. So exactly in the same way, if spiritual truth can be revealed, it can be practiced anywhere and by everyone. It is not that only one spiritual personality can attain that spiritual experience. If one person, if one prophet, if one incarnation can experience certain spiritual experience, then everyone of this universe can attain that same spiritual experience. Just as the scientific discoveries. And that is what Swami Vivekananda said. that it is uniqueness that in ordinary individual, when Buddha was born, what we have seen, we saw him that he was an ordinary boy. And out of his curious searching of the life, he attained the Buddhahood. Very simple searching. If we go through Sri Ramakrishna's life, we find very simple searching. Everyone says that God exists. Is it so? Let me see that. That was the search. Very simple. We all have the same question. Is it true? Is there anything which is called God exists? Very simple question. In Mahayana Buddhism also, this concept prevailed. In Mahayana Buddhism, every person is regarded as a potential Buddha. So each one has this potentiality. Swami Vivekananda saw immense spiritual potential in every individual. Therefore, he declared, I should better like that each one of you become a prophet of this real New Testament, which is made up of all the Old Testaments. This is another unique concept. Sri Ramakrishna or Swami Vivekananda, they did not reject any old ideas. They included all exclusive. Everything is included. So he included, everything is inclusive, nothing is exclusive. So they included all the old ideas and developed a new thing for the modern age. Take all the old messages, supplement them with your own realization, and become a prophet unto others. Another important point. Swami Vivekananda welcomed each individual's experience. He said there are few yogas, no doubt about that, but each individual can develop their own yoga. Forget about scriptures, forget about everything. Realization. Religion is realization. You can see it, you can experience it. That is what he emphasized. Religion is neither belief, nor dogmas, not scripture, not rituals. Religion is realization. Just as science, you can experiment, you can see it, you can experience. You can find it, and not only the findings, it can be applied to infinite number of people. That is what spirituality means. Religion is realization. If you develop it, it can be experimented among everyone. That is what he emphasized. This very moment, let every one of us make a staunch resolution. I will become a prophet. I will become a messenger of light. I will become a child of God. Nay, I will become God. So that was Swami Vivekananda's call. So each one of us take the inspiration, but don't stick into the inspiration itself. Then you will become limited. Study scriptures, but don't bind with the scriptures. Take your own inspiration and get your own experience. Then how can we do it? There are different 6 ways we can see this world, because everything depends upon our attitude, and with our attitude, how can we see this world? How can we see the God? How can we see the Absolute? Everything depends upon that. I see this world in one way. You see this world in different way. I see my God in one way. You see your God in another way. So it depends upon how an individual sees their God, their world, in which way. There are 6 ways we can see the Absolute. That is a very important verse. I always quote this, one of my favorite verse, and it was given by Ramanuja. Atmo anubhavo jadrisha tat gunaiva purushartha pratita. Atmo anubhavo jadrisha. How can I perceive myself? My Absolute, my God, is exactly the same thing. He said in Jnana Yoga in one place, that if suddenly a cow will become a philosopher, a cat will become a philosopher, how their God will be. A cat's God will be a huge cat. A cow's God will be a huge cow. Why? Because their conception about themselves is a cow, is a cat. Human conception about themselves as a human being. So our God is only human being, only greater in degree. So one of the ways to see God and to see is a divine yoga. This word divine yoga, you have heard Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, but it is a divine yoga. The first, this word appeared in Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna said about divine yoga. So this avatar, incarnation, is not like their work is not like our day-to-day work. There is a different kind of work. That is the divine. His action, incarnation's action, is of the nature of knowledge and will. It is based on knowledge and will. In Chandogya Upanishad, God is called Satya Sankalpa, endowed with infallible will. In Indian philosophy, the function of will is very important. I am not going to describe you what is will. Whatever God wills takes place. And Shankaracharya, he analyzed this particular term of Bhagavad Gita, divine yoga. Shankaracharya compares this exercise of God's will to the action of a king. The king does not have to do physical work. He only gives orders. And his will is immediately carried out by others. The avatar is also a Satya Sankalpa. Satya Sankalpa means what we wish. That means Sankalpa. I have to do this. This kind of firm resolution is called Sankalpa in Sanskrit. So God is Satya Sankalpa. Truth. Satya means truth. So what God's Sankalpa is obvious. That is called Satya Sankalpa. In Chandogya Upanishad, God is called Satya Sankalpa. So that is, Avatar is also a Satya Sankalpa. Whatever he wills takes place. That is what Satya Sankalpa means. And this Gita gave the divine yoga. Shankaracharya explains it, extraordinary yogic power. Sri Krishna works, Sri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that in divine yoga he does his work. So Shankaracharya said, extraordinary yogic power. According to Ramanuja, yoga means association here. God's association with infinite knowledge, infinite power. And Sridhar Swami interprets it to mean the capacity to make the impossible possible. Aghatito ghatana samarthyam. Which is impossible, God can make it possible. So that is the yogic power. That is the divine yoga. In this way they explain it. The term appeared in Bhagavad Gita. But Swami Vivekananda's definition is little bit different. Swami Vivekananda, why I am explaining this? Because how can we, following the incarnation, we can understand, yes, it is the center of the new wave. But how can we tune ourselves with that tidal wave, with that religious wave, with that spiritual wave? Unless we can tune ourselves, this is another unique concept in Indian philosophy. In our effort, how much we can go? There is a wave, a rhythm is already existing in this cosmos. If we can tune ourselves, in science, it is called biorhythm. So biorhythm is this. In science, it is called biorhythm. A rhythm is always continuing. You can also feel a sound in extremely calm and quiet surroundings. So, if we can tune ourselves with that rhythm, our spiritual progress will be faster. That is the divine yoga. That divine will is always there. If we can tune, we can identify, we can connect our will with the divine will, then our spiritual process, then we can go with a natural flow. How can we do that? That is Swamiji said. According to Swami Vivekananda, yoga is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. We have the potential divinity. It is said in Buddhism, each one of us are, in Mahayana Buddhism, are potential Buddha. So each one of us have this potential godhood. It is sleeping. It is sleeping within us. So that is what he said, that yoga is nothing but the manifestation of this divinity which is already within us. What yoga does, it only manifests this divinity within us, which is sleeping. What happens at the individual human level happens at the cosmic level also. The whole of the creation, in individual level, we have the evolution. Very simple. We have the evolution. What does it mean by evolution? Darwin, from ape, super ape to the Homo sapiens. So that's the physical evolution. What about the evolution of our consciousness, of our being? So that is spirituality. So individual level, there is evolution of our consciousness. We are human being, the instinctual human being. The next evolution is the rational human being. And ultimately the spiritual human being. So these are the evolution in the individual level. What happens in the cosmic level? In the cosmic level also, there is a progressive unfolding of divine consciousness. If you go through Rig Veda, the Purusha Suktam, you can find there the stepwise revelation of the cosmos. So this revelation, progressive unfolding of divine consciousness in matter, in life, in mind, and spiritual illumination. The whole of the cosmic evolution is governed by God's cosmic will. The avatar, the incarnation, by attuning this will with the cosmic will, becomes the master of divine yoga. All his actions are accomplished by divine yoga. So if we can attune, if we can connect our will with the cosmic will, which is flowing always. Sri Ramakrishna gave the beautiful example, the wind is always flowing. If you unfurl your sail, your boat will proceed. This unfurling. So we have to tune our will with the cosmic will. That is cosmic yoga, divine yoga. We can tune ourselves with the cosmic will. That is the divine yoga. This is one of the process. If we can see, we can tune ourselves with the cosmos. We can go with that. We can go with our nature. Why? It is said that the best time of meditation is early morning or in the evening. When the day breaks, the night comes. And when the night breaks, day comes. The junction of that. Why? Because it is natural to calm our mind at that point of time. It is the biorhythm. We can get in nature's help to keep our mind calm and quiet at that time. So exactly in the same way, if we can tune ourselves with the flow of this cosmic rhythm. In Sanskrit, it is called rhythm. If we can tune our will with the cosmic will, then the cosmic divine force will take us. Our effort will be lesser. So in this way, we can tune ourselves with the will of avatara, incarnation. If we can become closer, because avatars, incarnation are only the human beings. We can connect with the human being. If you meditate on God, we do not have any idea about God. We have not seen God, but we have seen the human being. We can better understand Jesus as a human being. We can understand better Buddha as a human being. So we can connect our will with their will. That is the process. And this is divine yoga. One of the ways, these are only one ways. There are 6 ways we can do that. Any question? So, summarizing, the new wave, one central point is required, and that central point must be the incarnation. What kind of incarnation? Purity, immaculate life, integration of yogas, transcendental realization. And if one can do that, everyone can do that. Second, how can we tune it? With divine yoga. Yes.
So you said that the birth of Sri Ramakrishna is thought to be the beginning of the new golden age from the Iron Age. Is this similar to the yugas?
Yes, yugas. That is age means yuga. Yes, Satya Yuga. Any other question? No question. Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuat Sarvastarotu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarva Sadbuddhim Apnotu Sarva Sarvatranandatu Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat Sajjana Shantimapnuat Shantamuccheti Bandhebhyo Muktaschanyan Vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Here are few announcements. We are observing Swami Vivekananda's 125th anniversary of Swami Vivekananda's visit to the Bay Area. Before 125 years, in 1900, Swami Vivekananda visited the Bay Area. So we have had our inaugural program in the Oakland Church, where Swami Vivekananda delivered his lecture, 8 lectures. And by the invitation of the Reverend Benjamin Fay Meal of the First Unitarian Church, Oakland, he visited the Bay Area. So we have our inaugural program there. Our next program will be on April 26th. It will be in the ICC Milpitas. And Swami Tyagananda, who is our center head of Boston and the teacher and the chaplain of MIT and Harvard, he will interact with Professor Jeffrey Long, and the moderator will be Acharya Sundari Jensen. So their interaction, the theme of their interaction is Swami Vivekananda, ancient wisdom in digital age. It will be in Milpitas on April 26 from 7 to 9 p.m. You all are welcome. And as usual, tea and coffee will be served in Saradhana